In this video, we're going to introduce Microsoft Excel by using the sample data of examining salaries of full-time employees across the 10 different Canadian provinces in 2005. But before we actually get into examining these numbers, we'll go through some of the key features in Microsoft Excel. And what we see along the top is a menu-driven set of options that the users can use for a wide variety of purposes. So if I click Home, we'll see many of the options to change the font, the alignment, the number format, styles, and so on and so forth. But we're going to take a look at some of the other key items that we'll be using when examining and performing calculations on these data. At the top left-hand corner here, we see D3. This item is called the name box, and the name box identifies the location in the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So all of these cells here are designated by a location given by the letters along the top and the numbers along the side and where those letters and numbers intersect. So if I click this cell right here, I can see that I'm in column D and in row 5, and the name box indicates my location. So as I continue to change the different locations by just clicking once on each of these different cells, we'll see that the name box location will reflect the active cell. The other item that we'll use here is what's called the formula bar, and the formula bar will identify what is contained in the individual cells. So if I come back up here and click the cell located in column D and in row number 1, we see that the formula bar indicates that there is nothing in there. It's an empty cell. If I click on cell in column A and row 1, or A1, we'll see it contains the word province. And if I click B2, it'll have the number 551. And so the way we enter information into the cells is just by using the keyboard. So in cell D2, I'm just going to type in the number 7 and hit enter, and when I click on D2, we see that 7 shows up in the formula bar as located in the name box, location D2. So I won't be needing this in this exercise. I'm just going to delete that number. So what we also have here with this Excel file is our worksheets. So at the very bottom, I have this big worksheet and I've given it a label called Lab Exercise. Now I can change that, and if I double click the Lab Exercise, when it becomes bold, that gives me a chance to rename it. So I'm just going to rename it Worksheet 1, and I hit enter, and now this entire worksheet, so if I can scroll to the right here, I can pull it down and it will continue to add rows and add columns as needed. Now if I need another worksheet, the plus symbol here will allow me to do that, and so as you can see, the dialog box opens up new sheet. So if I click that, the default here is that the new sheet will be labeled sheet 1. Once again, I can double click that and I can type in worksheet 2 and hit enter if I wish, and now I have a new worksheet that I can type data into. But what you notice between worksheet 1 and worksheet 2 are smaller cells. I've changed that under view. So if I click view and I click zoom, I can custom and double click. I'm going to go with 150% from the default, and now we have a much a zoomed in view of the cells if we want to do that. So If I want to get rid of worksheet 2 because I'm not going to be using it in this exercise, so what I do here is I right mouse click and I'll have a number of options here. And I'm just going to delete this worksheet because I'm not going to use it. And I'm left with worksheet 1. So this ends the first part of our introduction to Microsoft Excel.